Yes, a griot is a West African terminology for an oral historian. So a lot of my knowledge has been passed down to me through my family tradition, through oral history. But yeah, when it comes to cannabis, though, ganja, which ganja, I mean, it's a word that comes out of India, where it's been used, very spiritually for many, many years. It's the ganja. Well, first of all, talking about a superior food, the hemp seed.
Excellent.
What a superior food. 90% protein, nothing else tops that. I mean, it puts soybean protein out the box, instant. But that herb, the one that we smoke, that has the THC, that gives us this sensation of us calling ourselves being high. When you take herb, ganja or any other herb, whether it's a mint or any type of herbals that you make into a botanical, make into a tea, and you apply heat to them, you're extracting some toxic elements in these herbs. That's why we don't normally boil our tea. We just steep it in a little hot water to draw out the medicinal quality. So the medicinal quality in ganja is very, very intense. They say it's good for glaucoma and quite a few other things. But when you activate it by torching it, rolling it up in paper or corn husk or whatever, or putting it through a chalice and burning it, when you torch it like that, you're activating not only the medicinal quality, but the toxic element in it as well. And you're drawing it into your lungs. And the lungs are supposed to expel toxins. And we're putting toxins into the lungs. It hits the bloodstream instantly by way of the lungs, and the blood, the brain is 90% blood circulation constantly. So that blood is in the brain in no time. So it's got all of these, yes, medicinal values in it, but it also has the toxic elements in it. So we get this toxic irritation on the brain when we smoke the ganja leaves, and we call that being high, being irate, being mellow, but it's a toxic irritation. It's really a destruction of brain cell that is taking place. So the body automatically goes into self-defense to protect the brain. So you would notice most ganja smokers, they run and grab a big meal. They get the munchies, they call it, and they don't want just some, coconut water and some fruits and light sugar, because it absorbs a lot of sugar, because the brain feeds on a lot of sugar. So that blood in the brain is burning up sugar. So yeah, a lot of them want big sugar, but they would tend towards going towards the very complex carbohydrates, heavy food, rice and beans and tofu and green bananas and dumpling, as they call it, the flour, or boil up dough in Jamaica. They want heavy food, big protein, fats, and food that is very hard on the digestive system. So the blood now rushes to the digestive system to now digest that heavy load, so it comes off the brain, and the body protects the brain, so it does a short circuit by getting that blood with all of that toxic element off the brain as quickly as possible. So that's why some people say, when I smoke, I don't like to eat, because it blows my high. Yeah, it blows the toxic irritation on the brain, because the body wants to defend itself. Some people, it may not be eating, they may go and play football, kick a ball, or go have some sex, get the blood off the brain, anywhere but the brain, bring it down to the reproductive organ, put it somewhere else. But you notice you go to certain places where a lot of people are smoking a lot of ganja, and they're not eating enough food, whether it's because of poverty or whatever it is, or they want to keep that irie feeling as long as possible. I've seen a lot of those that are having their brain cells that have been short-circuited, which they may call them being crazy or nuts or whatever, But I recommend, the ganja, using it in its original form. It's just like any other green leaf. Yes, the herb is for the healing of the nation, as the Rastaman would say. But hey, Bob Marley would say, fire burn. Fire would kill the nation. So it's not about the herb, it's about the fire that destroys not only the nutrients and bring out the toxins in our food, but it also will kill us as well. So get that fresh, young, green leaf, and juice it. Run it through your juice extractor just like we do the wheatgrass, and take a teaspoon of that, and you're going to get all the oxygen, all the chlorophyll, all of the healing quality of the herb without the toxic effect. I've seen it work tremendously on women who are going through menopause. You get them a couple of teaspoon shots of ganja juice, man, and that hot flash goes into a whole nother level. It cool it down, it simmer it down for them. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Aris. So my last question, there's lots of people that find it very hard to enter a raw food diet.
Yes.
So what would be your recommendation or inspiration, some motivation for somebody who's struggling to leave the sad diet and incorporate more of this raw food philosophy?
Well, I would say just make a commitment, number one, to eat all raw, 100%, all fresh food, all plant foods, or even some non-fresh food. But first you make that commitment, then go for it. Eat anything and everything. Even if you love a combination of onions and raisins, eat them. Anything raw, bad food combination, it doesn't matter, and the body is going to start cleansing itself out, start detoxing, and the more the body detox, the more it would appreciate the raw food, and you're going to end up getting stabilized. But the main thing to keep in mind is that it's not the food in your life, but it's the life in your food that nourishes. So that's the best tip you would ever hear about raw food. We're eating for life. Cooked food, you're eating for death. So we become, living dead, eating all this cooked food.
Okay, Aris, thank you so much for this.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming to Peru.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, I love Peru. I'll be back. This is a very high energy zone, and I love it. Well, as we say in Latin America, esta es mi patria también, mi tierra, Perú. Bueno, pana, gracias.